Welcome to Neon Narratives, where the future comes alive through immersive storytelling. In today's episode, we present Grit, Guns, Glory by Arden Boldrs. In a world where the Wild West meets futuristic chaos, one gunslinger, Lila Quickdraw McCoy, will take on impossible odds for treasure, survival, and maybe a little fun. Expect fast draws, high-tech heists, and a whole lot of trouble. Saddle up, partner, because this ride's gonna get wild. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more captivating science fiction and cyberpunk tales. Now, let's begin.
Let me tell you all about Lila Quickdraw McCoy. She ain't just any outlaw running around in the dust of a forgotten planet. She's the kind of gallon who shoots first, asks questions. Quickdraw earned her name by single-handedly taking down a whole gang of raiders with nothing but a busted revolver and a whole lot of sass. Today, though, she had her eyes on a bigger prize of vault hidden deep in the ruins of an old robotics factory. That vault was supposed to be packed with riches beyond imagination, if you believe the tales told by drifters. But between her and that treasure, about 50 heavily armed goons and a whole mess of trouble. Standing at the edge of a dusty ridge, Lila surveyed the wasteland below. Her signature revolver, Betsy, hung at her hip, the metallic gleam catching the last rays of a setting sun. Her hat cast a long shadow over her smirking face as she looked down at the crumbling factory. She wasn't worried, she was excited. Part 2, the fight. Quickdraw took a deep breath and strolled toward the factory like she owned the place. It didn't take long before one of the goons spotted her and started yelling. Bullets began to fly, but Quickdraw just grinned. She had a plan, and these boys were about to find out what happens when you mess with a gallon who's quicker on the draw than most folks can blink. Betsy barked twice and 2 guards hit the dirt. More came pouring out from behind rusted metal, guns blazing. Quickdraw dove behind an old cargo loader, returning fire with pinpoint accuracy. Each shot dropped a goon like clockwork. "I really need to learn to aim," she hollered, laughing as she reloaded. A big brute of a man, who seemed to be the leader, stepped forward. He pointed at her with a shotgun the size of a small cannon. "You ain't walking out of here, McCoy." "Oh, sweet," Quickdraw said with a wink. "You should have stayed in bed." With a quick flick of her wrist, she swapped to her shotgun. Daisy, one blast, and the leader's helmet went flying, along with most of his head. The rest of the gang, well, they weren't so eager to keep fighting after that. Part 3, the vault. With the goons out of the way, Quickdraw made her way to the heart of the factory. The vault room. The place was dark and quiet, the air heavy with the scent of old oil and forgotten tech. There it was, sitting in the middle of the room like a prize turkey at a feast vault with a digital lock still blinking with power. Quickdraw wiped the dust from her hands and slid a keycard into the panel. She'd lifted it off the big brute's body after their little chat. The vault door creaked open, and Quickdraw leaned in, her heart racing with excitement. But instead of treasure, what she found was a little girl. Part 4, the kid. The girl couldn't have been older than 7 or 8, wearing a tattered jumpsuit that looked like it hadn't been washed in years. She stared up at Quickdraw with big, wide eyes. "Well, I'll be," Quickdraw muttered, holstering Betsy. "Ain't this a surprise?" The kid didn't say a word, just pointed behind her. Quickdraw squinted and saw a small, shiny device sitting on a pedestal. It wasn't gold, but it sure looked important. Quickdraw scratched her head. "What's that, darling? You come with the prize." The girl shrugged. Quickdraw picked up the device, turning it over in her hands. It hummed with energy, a sure sign it was valuable. "Well, kid," Quickdraw said, "looks like you're coming with me." Part 5, the escape. Quickdraw grabbed the device, tucked the kid under one arm, and made for the door. Sure enough, more goons were on their way, engines rumbling and guns cocked. They didn't look too happy about her taking their little prize. "Time to go, sweetheart," Quickdraw said, dodging bullets as she sprinted toward an old cargo hauler. With a leap, she slammed her hand on the control panel, and the hauler's rusty arm swung them up and over a barricade. They flew through the air as bullets zipped past, but Quickdraw was too busy cackling to care. "Hold on tight, kid. This is where the fun starts." They landed hard, and without missing a beat, Quickdraw took off running again, the girl clinging to her back. As the dust settled behind them, Quickdraw smiled, looking out at the wasteland. "What's next, you ask? Well, Dora, first we figure out what this shiny thing does. Then we find us some more trouble. The girl finally spoke, her voice quiet but steady. What if we don't? Quickdraw grinned, her eyes gleaming. Well now, where's the fun in that?